Hi guys, Nathan here, and today I thought I'd do a little video on the games still to come in 2015 that I'm most looking forward to. Before I start, I should say that these are just the games that I'm personally excited about, and you've got to remember I mainly play on PC, so Xbox and PS4 exclusives aren't really going to make it onto the list. So anyway, let's get into it. Here are my top 5 games still to come in 2015. Starting off at number 5, we've got Rainbow Six Siege. Now, this is the latest in the Rainbow Six franchise, and it promises to be an interesting release, as it's one of those rare shooters that revolves around planning and team tactics. And having played in both the alpha and the beta, I can attest to the fact that this attack versus defense shooter is a lot of fun, and feels pretty unique in the current FPS scene. I feel as though this game has an awful lot of potential, and if Ubisoft pull it off right, they could have found a gap to fill in the generally quite saturated first-person shooter market. If I had one concern about this game, it would be that there appears to be no single-player campaign planned, which would be fine if they weren't still planning on charging full price. Then again, a lot of people never play the single-player campaign in these type of games anyway, so maybe you won't care about that, and I don't think I do particularly either. Moving on to number 4, and I've gone for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, if you follow the channel at all, you'll probably know that I'm not the biggest COD fan, but I have to say, recently I've been feeling the urge to have some fast-paced shooter fun, and I even got to the stage where I reinstalled Advanced Warfare. Do I think this game is likely to make me a full-on COD fanboy? No. But do I think it's likely to give me a fair few hours of mindless noob-killing fun? Hell yes. And all of the noises coming out of Treyarch sound good this time. 4-player co-op sounds like a lot of fun, and giving players choice to skip levels and just play what they want is a pretty cool way of going about things in my opinion. As for concerns with this game, there's the obvious questions that are going to be raised as to whether or not the PC port will be up to a decent standard, and it has to be said that the beta for this game seemed to raise more questions on that front than it answered, with numerous complaints about dodgy mouse control, which leaves me slightly skeptical. On to number 3, and I've plumped for a title that a lot of people won't be looking forward to as much as me, but I've gone for Football Manager 2016. Now, technically I've actually been playing this game for the past few days, because if you pre-order, you can get the game in its beta form 2 weeks before the game comes out. So on this occasion, I'm in a better position with this game to tell you whether or not it's going to be any good, and having put in 23 hours in the 4 or 5 days since the game came out in its beta, I can safely say that yes, this year's Football Manager is a great game, and if you love football and want to take charge of your own team, then you should definitely consider giving this one a look. My only slight concern for this one is that it might not seem to be enough of an advancement from FM 2015, and if you don't mind having the old player rosters, it might be worth saving 10 to 15 quid and getting an older version of the game. Now we come to number 2, and just missing out on the top spot, it's Star Wars Battlefront. Now, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, and the game does seem a little more casual than I tend to like my shooters, but having played several hours of the alpha and the beta with a big smile on my face, I think I can safely say I'm going to have a lot of fun with this game. The gameplay seems pretty slick, the sound assets are awesome, and the graphics are just incredible. And after just having the biggest beta in EA history, it seems that DICE have got a hit on their hands here. And I think it's safe to say YouTube is going to be flooded with Battlefront videos when the game finally releases. Again, the lack of a single player campaign is a concern, and there were a few balance issues that were raised in the beta, but it's likely that they'll be fixed by the time the game has its full release. One final question mark about this one is, will the launch be stable? DICE doesn't have a great track record when it comes to this, with BF3 and BF4 both being buggy pieces of crap at launch, but the relative stability of the beta and hardline solid launch gives me hope for Battlefront. And after all of that, we finally arrive at my number 1, which has to be Fallout 4. I've been waiting for this game for years, and after seeing the trailers and leaked content on Pornhub of all places, my hype levels for this title just went completely off the charts, and now I'm itching to start my post-apocalyptic adventure. Honestly, the fact that I can't wait for this game is a testament to how much trust matters in gaming, which is why Assassin's Creed Syndicate would never have made it onto this list, even if it hadn't come out already. I don't trust Ubisoft after the release of Unity, but I do fully trust Bethesda to get this absolutely spot on, and that's why I'll be getting out my wallet and peeling it wide open for Fallout 4. Now, not every sequel has to be brilliantly innovative, and I think that this is one of those times where what I really want from Fallout 4 is more of the gameplay from Fallout New Vegas, with awesome shiny new graphics in a cool new setting and with intriguing quests. As for concerns on this one, there's always a slight risk when working on a beloved franchise that you can totally screw up and leave people very frustrated. but I really don't think that'll happen this time, and honestly, my biggest concern is that they won't have Nathan on their list of programmed in names. And let me tell you now, I will genuinely be pissed off if that happens. So there you go guys, that's my top 5 games still to come in 2015. There were other games that I'd love to have put on the list, like Halo 5 for example, but I want concrete proof that that'll come to PC before I get my hopes up. So let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not, and what, if anything, I missed out. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, I'd be very appreciative of a like underneath, or even a subscription to the channel to really help me out. But that's about it for today guys, so thanks for watching, I've been Nathan, and I'll see you next time.